Hello, this is Anglerfishy, and I don't really have a plan for this video. I'm feeling a little nostalgic. I've got dolls on the brain, so I wanted to kind of have a very casual, chatty video. I feel, well, no, I don't feel very alone in feeling this way, but I really like BJD videos where, it's just somebody kind of rambling for, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour about whatever it is that they want to talk about, usually updates, things like that. And right now I'm in the process of restringing this girl. I'm so sorry. I'm showing her in such a unflattering pose, but yeah, I'm getting her changed right now, getting her clothes off. And I'm gonna be restringing her because I just got my string in today. I realize now that I have to get my scissors too because I'll have to cut. I think I'm gonna have to cut the string. So I'm working on her. So I thought that it might just be fun to talk a little bit about my 3-year anniversary in the hobby that's coming up. I can't remember what day I got my first doll, like what day I received her. I have it written down on Den of Angels, and I could have checked on Den of Angels before I made this video, but you know what? I didn't plan this, so you're just gonna have to trust me. It was in the month of August. August, I received my first doll, and that was my Kokoriang Peppy. And I don't even have her here with me. She's on my shelf over there. So, what a shame. Let me actually go get her. Excuse me. Okay. Here she is. This was my first doll in the hobby. This light's, it's just a light, so I'm so sorry she's not gonna look too great. But there she is. And yeah, she's 3 years old. Um, she's been looking like this for about 2 years, I think. But I think she's like so perfect. I don't even know what I want to do to change her up. She's just such a perfect little baby. But yeah, I've been having a midlife doll crisis. I think I mentioned this a little bit in my other video, the first one I did, where I kind of just went over my dolls. It was like a 2019 retrospective or whatever. Yeah, I remember in that video I was going over all of my dolls, and I like kind of hesitated when I came up to the SDs because I was like, oh, her name is Magnolia and her name is Magnolia too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with yeah, so this 3-year anniversary of me being in the doll hobby has got me revisiting those anxieties. Um, so when I started the hobby, I don't know if I'm the only one who does this. I'm sure I'm not, but tell me if you did this too when you were new. When I started the hobby, I basically was enraptured. I was doing a lot of window shopping, just looking through like Dolk, through Alice collections, through like as many BJD sales websites as I could find. And I was just like, oh my gosh, add that to the wish list. I made a wish list on like Microsoft Word, and I don't have that wish list anymore. It's on a computer that died, so I can't recover it. But yeah, I remember I had this long wish list with like a ton of dolls, and I had it like, okay, this one it's this price, and this is what the size of wig that fits on it. So it was just basically a very detailed journal, so to speak, wish list of dolls that I ended up wanting to get. And I didn't get all those dolls, and I'm not gonna get all those dolls. It's like, when you're new, you want everything because everything looks amazing to you, and everything is amazing. But you kind of, you form plans, and your tastes become more discerning with time. So hold on a second. I need to get my scissors. Yeah, so I started off with making a wish list of a bunch of anthro dolls because, as you can tell, I really like anthro dolls. I think they're adorable. So I was going through like all the Let's Zuzu dolls and the Dear Mind dolls and Peepos, and I was putting like all of them on my wish list, and that's ridiculous. But hold on a second. How am I gonna do this? I'm using something a little different. Actually, it's so funny that I mentioned Let's. I got an order from Let's just for like various things. I needed like wigs and shoes and stuff. And I also got this, which is restringing wire. So I'm gonna try to restring her with this, see how that goes. Anyway, I forgot my train of thought. Yeah, so I was making a wish list of like putting all the little adorable anthro dolls in there. I want this, I want this, I want this. And then I had to stop myself. I had to say, you know what, shut up, Gigi. You're annoying the hell out of yourself. You need a plan. And you know, at that point, I had been watching like a bunch of BJD YouTube videos, seeing people snuggle their SD dolls. Not literally, not like literally snuggling them, but you know, having their videos where they're like holding their doll and they're like, oh, this is so and so, and blah, 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 blah. So I fell in love with that size, and I also fell in love with the idea of basically shelling my characters as doll, because I had characters, or I do still have them. They're not like not mine anymore. But I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I feel like I kind of was in a different space when I created them. And I'm much more interested in kind of developing different characters now. But basically, I had these trio of bunny girls, and one of them has been shelled as a doll. But yeah, so there was Portobello, my main character, and I won't really go into their characters too much, mostly like their physical attributes, because this is that's kind of what's relevant to this story. So Portobello was my main character. She had dark brown skin, long dark hair, and she was very curvy, very chubby. And then there was another bunny girl by the name of Horse. Each of them was named after a plant, except for Portobello. She was named after a fungus. So Gorse, that's a flower actually, a flower from a bush. Gorse was also a bunny girl in the story, and she was very tall, and she was very lanky, kind of awkward. She had a kind of an awkward, anxious disposition about her. And then there was Magnolia, and Magnolia, I guess, she had the pear-shaped body that you would typically associate with like the indie dolls that you see a lot in the hobby. So yeah, so those were my 3 characters, and I found them to be incredibly hard to shell, for a couple of different reasons. One of them being that they all had brown skin. It's fine. They all had brown skin, and you know, tan skin is definitely a thing, you know, in the hobby, but it's a thing that can be expensive. It can be very expensive, and it's very unpredictable. Like certain companies, okay, I'm just gonna say it, Doll Zone, Doll Chateau. They don't cast their own dolls, so they send the doll to a caster, and then that, depending on what that caster feels like, the tan shade will be different. So like I had in my mind, okay, for Gorse, well, I guess you should know Gorse was trans, and I wanted her to have kind of, you know, a more masculine build than the other dolls. Gorse, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get her to the Doll Zone body because I saw somebody have it in tan and it looked great, and then I saw a different person who had it in tan and it looked totally different, and then they stopped offering tan. So I was like, okay. And then Portobello was curvy, so that really limited my options. I thought about getting the Tootie doll, first body, and dyeing it, but I was scared. I eventually did get an Argonautica plus size body, and it's beautiful, but the tan color that I asked for like a custom tan. So because they had like a sandy tan, and they had like a really dark one, and I asked, can you do something in the middle? And they said, okay. But when they said in what I got, and I don't fault them for this, because, you know, I didn't really have the best reference pictures for them. I didn't really have reference pictures for them. It was like closer to the very dark than the sandy. So it wasn't like in the middle. It was just a shade slightly less dark than the darkest. So it was like, this is very pretty, but this is not quite what I was looking for. And then and then there's a matter of the head sculpt. Well, and then the Magnolia, I said she's curvy. A lot of curvy dolls come from independent creators, which are very expensive. Like, I thought about getting her a Mary doll round body, but again, getting that in like the cookie skin, but I don't want the head. And how do I get a head matched to the cookie skin? And you know, it's like, it's hard enough to like get these bodies with these very specific body types, but then also getting them in the resin color that you want is like, you know, but I was willing to go through that trouble. And then there's the matter, but what really kind of broke me was head sculpts. So I have a pretty cartoony anime-ish art style. So I wanted that to reflect in the dolls, to have dolls with cute large eyes, cute features, and that some, how do I describe this? Okay. Basically, I wish I had the pictures to show you. I don't have these pictures anymore. But basically, I got at one point a Lutz Clary. This is a Lutz doll. I got a Lutz Clary, and I thought, oh my god, this is perfect for Gorse. It's a long face. I got her in their real skin brown, so it was like a tan color. So it's like, this is awesome. And at that point, I had had Magnolia, who at that point was already shelled as a SDF 73, which is a super Dolphy sculpt. And I had gotten a Foveo Jelly in white skin. It wasn't tan, but I was gonna dye her. So I was like, oh my gosh, I finally have all their heads. And then I put all of their heads together, and the Jelly sculpt from Foveo looked so like semi-realistic compared to the other two very cartoony looking ones that I was like, oh no, they don't look like they're from the same universe. And even the Let's doll next to the Super Dolphy was still weird to me, because Let's dolls, it's like the head to face ratio, I guess, I don't know if this is true for all Let's sculpts. I don't think it is. Clary, I think, is a pretty old schoolish sculpt. But yeah, it's just like a narrow face, and then the head is very round. Whereas Volks is like, it's a round head, but also a round face. And having them next to each other, I don't know, I felt like, I feel like that's something nobody cares about. But I ended up caring about it. So I was like, you know what, these dolls, this is really hard to find the aesthetic that I want in a doll and have 3 of them in the resin color I want, exuding the personality that I want. I had like so many specific criteria for, I just realized I haven't even been restringing. I was supposed to be talking while restringing. But yeah, I just had so many like criteria that I was giving myself that it was just impossible to, you know, get the doll that I wanted. So I've put a pause on that, and honestly, I've probably just canceled those plans altogether, because it just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. It's not fun having a doll where you feel like it'll always feel incomplete unless you have like the rest of the companion dolls with them. Because I have Magnolia, and although her body isn't a pear-shaped body, her face is pretty much perfect. It's exactly what I would have wanted in her face. But she doesn't have the rest of the entourage with her. So, you know, she feels very incomplete. The same goes, I was about to say it's the same goes for my other dolls. No, it doesn't. I'm going crazy. What was I just saying? But yeah, yeah, it just, I don't know. It's no fun. You know, this hobby is so expensive. I want to be having fun, and I am having fun, but I'm so sorry. I'm like trying to, I'm using this wire, and it's working really well, but I'm trying to get it in this like very little hole right here. Get in there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I feel like having all those like specific little rules for myself has kind of damaged my enjoyment of the hobby. You know, it's not really a lot of fun to have a doll that feels perpetually incomplete just because they don't have the companions there. Because, and then there's also that I go to a lot of meetups, and a lot of the times, I don't know, it'd be like, I feel like almost jealous of some people who like having fun and just like, oh yeah, ha ha ha, our dolls are friends. And it's like, well, my doll already has friends that I just haven't bought for her yet. uh so I don't know. I don't know where I'm getting at. It's really hard to talk and restring at the same time. I'm finding. I'm not sure why I thought this was a good idea. But Shellum characters, man, it's just a eternal struggle. Where you got to question, is this payoff worth it? You know what? I think not. I think I'm at that point where it's like, it's not worth that struggle of shelling characters. And I don't mean this to discourage anyone else from choosing to shell their OCs or what have you, because I'm kind of in a new phase where I am kind of shelling different characters. But these new characters are not characters that I created years and years and years ago before the hobby. Basically, I've fallen in love with the cat dolls that I showed in my reviews. They were not characters. They were not something that I planned for in terms of like, oh, I'm shelling so and so by in this, you know, doll. You know, I got the People's doll because I thought it was cute. I got the Deer Mine because I thought it was cute. Yeah, that's pretty much all there was to that. And they've sort of come into themselves as characters. By the way, if you want to see my progress so far, look at that. She's coming together. I'm doing it. I'm a big girl. So I kind of do want to shell one of them as an SD doll. I think probably Muffy, who's the pink Peepo's doll from you may have seen from my body review. I think I want to shell her as maybe a Dolphy Dream. I do have currently a Gem of Dalhalia that I'm not really doing much with. She's kind of just standing in the corner, looking cute in a completely mismatching outfit with no direction whatsoever. So I might restyle that doll to try and be a shell for Muffy. But I kind of might not do that. I kind of might just forgo that process and get a Dolphy Dream because I really kind of want to try vinyl. Vinyl's a lot of fun. I've never owned a vinyl doll, but my brother has one. My friends have them. I've dealt with them before, and it was a medium that was very scary to me in the beginning of the hobby, but the longer I'm in, the more I'm like, you know what, I think I might be competent enough to not, you know, ruin this doll because they stain so easily. So yeah, I think I might give that a whirl. But yes, that was kind of my journey through the hobby. So yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit about my mid-doll crisis. I have plans that don't involve me scratching my head over these SD dolls. I'm probably gonna, well, I'm not probably, I'm definitely waiting on YB doll to release Bomb. Bomb is this adorable bear that I've been waiting for, and I can't wait for that to be released. So that I'm definitely gonna jump on that. Actually, I already got clothes for YB Doll Bomb. I already know the name. I'm gonna name him Hermoso. And this is an MSD sweater. It doesn't even. Is this? I don't own any MSDs, so I don't know. This looks big. This looks like it should be for an SD, but that'll be for him, so that he'll be nice and cozy. I might have to pause the video because I've now hit the point where I need to put her little feet on. These wires are actually really good. I totally recommend these, at least for probably USD and MSD. I don't know how like good these would be for like SD, but I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back after I put her feet because it's too distracting. I'm still struggling with her feet. This would be a lot easier with two people. And I could ask my dad or my brother to help me, but I kind of don't want to bother them. Come on. Come on. Oh, I think I'm getting it. Okay. No, I'm not. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'll come back again. Okay. That was one. Am I recording? Yeah. So I got one in. I got a foot in. Gotta get the other one in. But just, I forgot where I left off. I think I was talking about YB doll bomb. Also on my wish list, my like real deal wish list, is Doll's Own Miss Kitty. Gotta get one more cat doll, at least one more. Gotta get Miss Kitty. She's a classic. She's an oldie, pretty old. I don't know when she was released, but honestly, Doll's Own will probably discontinue her next year. I'm surprised they haven't already discontinued her. She has survived several discontinuation events. Ooh, this is tight. I'm bleeding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Oh my god. I'll be back. Okay, I just want to show off for a second what happened, how it was that I started bleeding. You can barely tell, but I got a little tiny cut. Um, so basically, I'm gonna have to use like a little stick or something to help me, because what had happened was, you know, this is how the leggies are supposed to be. The string equal amounts. And I strung one first, so you know I was pulling, 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 and I don't know how I can illustrate this, but well, I won't pull it because I can't do this with one hand reliably. But I was pulling. This string was becoming smaller, going inwards, and then this one was going out. So by the time I tried to string the other one, it was just so tight and small that I hurt myself. So I'm gonna actually just finish restringing her, and I'll finish my little chit chat with you a little bit later. Okay, she is finally strung. It took me like an hour. So what happened was, it was too tight. Well, oh wait, actually, this is the first string. This one. This string that I did was just because this string is thicker. I actually needed a little more length because this was just too tight. That's why I was destroying my thingies. So she is finally strung, and now she's just right. So yay, her head isn't wobbling around, so that's awesome. She's beautiful. She's actually probably my is she my second oldest doll? Could she be my oldest? She is my first, and then was it the Gem of doll? Because the second doll was a Soom doll that I sold. Actually, I sold her. It's so funny that I'm doing this on my anniversary in the BJD hobby. My second doll, she was a Soom Petite Gem Julie, which they're very small. They're actually like this big, but their proportions are smaller. And I had to restring her because the way that Soom set her, they had like the knot in a place like inside her arm, and so one of her arms was just like just limp and just bended oddly. So I had to restring her, and that was my second doll, first doll I ever restrung, and I cried. It was so hard. I mean, at least I didn't cut myself, but I like destroyed myself emotionally over that doll, and I sold her. I sold her because she just brought me nothing but pain. So look how far I've come. I've restrung a doll, and I didn't even cry. I just cut myself is all. I actually should put on a band-aid, but I haven't. It's not very deep. It's fine. Actually, it's not even bleeding anymore. What was I talking about? So let's get it changed. So I talked a little bit about my doll journey, my midlife crisis. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? It's my 3-year anniversary. I want to talk about what I'm thankful for, and that's the people that I've met. Best thing that ever did happen to me with this hobby probably has to be going to that meetup in 2019. I was on Den of Angels, as you know, one does, and I have a little new outfit for her too, actually. I was on Den of Angels, and I was really curious about a meetup. I was really scared. Well, at the time, I wasn't really very social, and I was very nervous. But yeah, I found a meetup that was in my area. The person hosting the meetup was very gracious, and she was very like inviting. I had like a lot of questions, and she answered them all. And yeah, the hostess became very close friends of mine, and you know, and they all lived happily ever after. I don't know how to continue this sentence. It's just been great. I've been going to the meetups regularly. I help organize them. We've done like so much. We've done conventions where we'll like explain to normal people what dolls are. One time we went to a pumpkin patch, and that was like super fun. I think that was like my favorite thing that we ever did. We went to a pumpkin patch, and again, we were like surrounded by normal people and normal kids that wanted the dolls, but like we were just having so much fun, sticking our dolls on pumpkins and taking pictures. It was just so much fun. Gosh, we've just done so much. There was this one time where we were gonna attend this like beach themed meetup, and we sewed bikinis together, and my bikini was cute, but it wasn't like well structured because I'm not no seamstress, so it's actually no longer functional. It's too worn. It don't work no more. But that was like really fun sewing that with my friends. So yeah, the people truly elevate this hobby. Like, man, these dolls are beautiful, but having a community, it really takes it to another level. An online community too, honestly. It's not, I love the meetups. I love the people that I've met face to face, but there's so many great people online too. I've met so many people. I love seeing people progress. I'm so distracted because I'm trying to, okay, there we go. That button's finally in. Yeah, so it's been really great. In a weird way, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but when before this hobby, I didn't really spend on myself like this. I mean, I basically just spent on essentials. It felt awkward to me to spend so much on myself for like, hobby stuff. And but now that I'm into dolls, let me tell you, I'm definitely willing to spend now. Not like, I'm not gonna put myself, out of my house or anything like that, but yeah, there's that too. Yeah. All right, I don't know what to say. So yeah, 3 years in the hobby. I guess last thing I have to say, 'cause I already talked about my midlife crisis. I already talked about, how grateful I am for friendship. Talked about some future doll plans. I guess let's talk a little bit about my channel. I definitely want to do stuff with this channel. Not necessarily like professional stuff. Just want to be a little more active. Maybe I'll do some tag videos. I ain't going to be doing box opening videos because I usually take like 2 hours to open a box, and also because I don't want to. Oh my gosh, my friend, one time she said, because she's not as familiar with BJDs, she's more so like on the vinyl side of things. She's like, oh, you should do an informative video. You should do like a video about recasts. And it's like, oh my god. I mean, maybe, but not like my first video. That's like the fastest way to get people to hate you. Let's put our socks on. But yeah, I think I could probably do a comparison of different synthetic wigs. That's my worst vice with this hobby. I have literally 2 dolls two USD, 1/6 scale dolls that can wear wigs. I mean, you saw them in the video. And I have like a bunch of wigs, like too many. It's ridiculous. They don't wear them all. I just can't stop. I literally have a new wig for her right now, and I'm so excited to try it on because I love this like green color. It's coming out really pale in this video, but I'm excited. And maybe if I get a few more synthetic wig brands, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a wig comparison. Oh my god, that'll just be like calling myself out. But I'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and dress her up. I'm gonna dress Colette up, and I'll be back once she's all pretty. Okay, so here she is. Got a new wig for her. Love this like green color, and then some matching shoes. These are like a little weird. They're like fuzzy on the inside, a little bizarre, but they're adorable. So that's, hey, the good thing is that I don't have to wear them. So it's okay if they look uncomfortable. Oh, she needs her ears. Let me put her ears on so she is like a real kitty cat. Okay, I should do this with 2 hands. Let me put these little dudes on her. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. Well, that's it for this video. I really don't know what else to be talking about. Happy 3-year anniversary to me. Happy anniversary to anyone else who might be having a little doll anniversary. I think Miss Kitty Blue did a video just like this, talking about 10 years in the hobby. So congratulations to her. Maybe that'll be me one day. Maybe I'll, you know, next thing I know, I'll blink and I'll be like, wow, 10 years. I can't believe it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my hair that I did not brush and that I definitely need to cut. And I will see you around. Bye-bye.